Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the work of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. Picking up from where we left off last week. A sports coach will be deployed in Region 3 to hone the skills of athletes there. Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport Charles RAMSON Jr. made this disclosure on Sunday last during a ministerial outreach in the region. The minister said the initiative fulfills the government's manifesto promise to develop and showcase the athletes' potential, both locally and internationally.
We're doing a consultation with all of the sports associations that will be sometime around October. So we've divided sports into core and non-core sports. All of the core sports will be part of that consultation, so it'll be like an actual conference. So it's not only a talk shop, they actually come there and they participate in finalizing the details of it. So by October, we're ready to launch our academy.
For the core sport aspect, Minister RAMSON said the academy will offer sport coaches and organizers. It will feature 3 components: nursery, tournaments, and elite. The Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education on Sunday last, rolled out its COVID-19 vaccination campaign for children 12 to 17 years old at Movietown, Georgetown. The vaccination drive saw hundreds of children being inoculated with the Pfizer vaccine. Both Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, and Minister of Education, PRIYA NANICKCHAND, were satisfied with the turnout. Minister Anthony said the vaccine will prepare students for face-to-face learning when school reopens on September 6.
Which we want to happen because we want schools to reopen safely. So I'm extremely pleased with the response, and the staff here, we're going to try to do as much as we can to expedite so that we can see a lot more people today.
And if we are to deliver to our children education that would make it effective in making them employable, marketable, knowledgeable, productive Guyanese citizens, then normalcy is what has to happen in that sector. So we're very glad about that.
On Monday, Minister NANICKCHAND said the COVID-19 immunization campaign for the adolescent population will be taken into communities.
We want to make sure we can go to the communities of children. So I see other Caribbean countries saying we have 7 locations or 9 stations. We're not saying that. In Guyana, we're saying that we're coming to your village school, we're coming to your community school, we're coming to a place close to you to make it easy for people to access this vaccine, as well as to make sure children don't have to travel long distances to get it.
On Tuesday, Dr. Anthony said he was pleased with the response of parents thus far.
So far, the exercise has been quite good. We've had a number of parents bringing their children to get their vaccination. As of yesterday, those numbers are 2,176 children who would have received at least their first dose of the Pfizer vaccine. We also note that sometimes parents, when they bring their children, they themselves are asking for the vaccine, so I think that's a good thing as well. But so far, I think the rollout has been good.
Scores of farmers up the Berbice River, Region 10, are now in a better position to rebuild their farms, which were destroyed by the flood. This follows the distribution of the government's flood relief grants. On Tuesday, Minister of Natural Resources BHARRAT spearheaded the disbursement of the grants, along with a team from the Ministry of Agriculture at Tacoma.
We know that the grant that will be given to you or has been given to you previously through the COVID cash grant and other ways of creating incentives or giving out incentives is not to put you back to 100% where you were before, but it is to assist you to get there. Use the cash grant that you'll be given today, please, to go back or to restore your farms or your livestock or your cattle, or whichever the case is, that you go back to some kind of normalcy so that once again you can start providing for yourself and your family again.
Tourism in Maracaibo, the only indigenous community in Region 5, was given a boost with the commissioning of a new eco-lodge that will cater for tourists who wish to make overnight trips to the community. The newly constructed Eco Lodge was officially commissioned on Monday by Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce Onij Walron, who visited the community in the company of the British High Commissioner Jane Miller.
This is a strategy, a developmental strategy that government has engaged on, that we have decided that our economy should not be an oil and gas economy alone, but it should be a diversified economy, where tourism is going to be a way for you to feed your families for generations to come. People are going to be coming to these lodges many, many decades from now. Coming to your lodges, coming to experience this beautiful Maracaibo, and we continue to do it in a sustainable fashion, continue to understand that what you are selling here is the nature, the pristineness.
The adolescents' COVID-19 vaccination program continued on Wednesday at Queen's College. The event saw a large turnout and catered for a number of schools in Georgetown. However, it was not limited to just adolescents, as vaccines were also available for adults at the site. Minister Anthony, accompanied by U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Her Excellency Sarah Ann Lynch, overlooked the process.
We have had a good turnout here at QC. A lot of students came out, a lot of parents, and of course there are also lots of teachers. And we are very happy because with the teachers, they are getting the one of the adult vaccines, which can either be, depending on their choice.
23 Community Support Officers, CSOs, completed a 3-week Information and Communications Technology ICT course at Global Technology in Georgetown under the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs Youth Entrepreneurship and Apprenticeship Program. Minister Pauline SUKHAL, who attended the event, said the advancement of hinterland students remains a priority of the government.
This investment, as I started out, is an investment in our young people. And therefore, I also want to draw to your attention that our government has put out or rolled out a number of initiatives that are making positive waves and impact on young people's life of our country. And this is a demonstration that the PPP civic government does not only support the training for coastal students, but equally so, the hinterland students are all part and parcel of the agenda.
Minister of Public Service Sonia Parag and Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Nigel Darmlal were also at the event. Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Hugh Todd says government plans on transforming the town of New Amsterdam into a city. Minister Todd made the announcement on Wednesday during his address at the township's 130th anniversary.
As you know, his specialization is in urban development and planning. He understands transformation. He understands how to move development across Guyana. His focus is on urbanization. How do we transform New Amsterdam into a city?
Minister Todd says New Amsterdam, like the rest of Ghana, forms part of government's development drive, especially with revenues expected from the oil and gas sector. The Infectious Diseases Hospital at Liliendal marked 1 year in operation on Wednesday. At a media conference, Minister Anthony said in spite of the challenges, government was able to get the facility to an operable state.
This place was literally a shell, nothing else. No equipment, no beds, no ventilator, nothing. And it really took an effort. So you can understand that on the 5th of August, the 7th of August, this place was not ready. No electricity, no water, no plumbing, no nothing, right? And from the 5th to the 1st of September, that we were able to put the first patient in this facility speak volumes of the hard work, the tireless work of the staff of the GPHC, the nursing staff, Dr. Bovell and her team. It speaks volumes because these were the people who really made this facility work.
The Chetty Jagan International Airport Corporation has signed a $400 million contract with Total Solutions to supply 2 new air bridges. This is part of the government's agenda to transform the airport.
Today's signing ceremony is government's part to facilitate what China Harbor has to do as part of its expansion. They have to put in the corridors to facilitate 2 additional air bridges, and those corridors are to facilitate the D and E type aircraft with the extended runway must be able to facilitate D and E type aircraft. The D and E type aircraft are essentially the wide body aircraft that will do the transatlantic flights, long hauls they call them. These are planes that carry in excess of 300 passengers at a time. Its cargo capacity is enormous.
3 excavators have been donated by the Ministry of Agriculture to GUYANA for the aid in the rehabilitation of the Albion Port Morant estate. On Thursday, Minister MUSTAPHA commissioned the excavators at GUYANA's head office at the Lebon Intention estate.
I want to recommit the government position that we are working aggressively, working in a phased plan to reopen the closed sugar estate. Now we are seeing once again investment in GUYANA, and we have to continue to invest in this critical sector. We have to ensure, as I said, improve production, but at the same time look at the social benefit that GUYANA brings to these communities.
The Ministry of Health is setting up a multidisciplinary team to provide care for persons suffering from long COVID. This announcement was made by Dr. Anthony on Thursday.
What we are now in the process of organizing is a multidisciplinary team to provide care for long COVID patients. So this is not just one specialty. It's not just like cardiac, or this is going to be a multidisciplinary team.
Minister Anthony said the ministry has been observing patients who have recovered from the coronavirus but are now experiencing prolonged symptoms. A $787.6 million contract was on Friday signed by the Ministry of Public Works and coal contractors to remove 3 wrecks in the Demerara River. Public Works Minister Bishop Juan Edgell, who joined the signing virtually, said the wrecks have proven to be a hazard and their removal will allow water traffic to flow freely. He said this will complement the establishment of the new Demerara Harbour Bridge.
This project of removal of wrecks is also coming in tandem with us building a high-span 4-lane new Demerara bridge, which will mean that once the tide allows and the draft allows, you could have unhindered access into Port Georgetown 24 hours every day.
The project is expected to be completed in 9 months, with 3 months allotted to each wreck. About 1,000 residents of Maracaibo Region 5 are now benefiting from improved water supply following the commissioning of a $5 million water supply system. Friday's event was led by a minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodriguez, accompanied by Member of Parliament and Region 5 Representative Faisal Jaffer Ali and Regional Vice Chairman Rion Peters and a team. This initiative is a collaborative effort between the Guyana Water Incorporated and the Maracaibo Village Council.
People are at work, and that is a significant accomplishment for this community. We saw coming up the river, people at work, women and their children, they're washing, the men are packing their logs. We can see activity. You can see economic activity in this village. You can see the vibrancy in the village. There's a new energy. The village has been rejuvenated. And this is because of the attention and of the investment that our government has been making in this community from day one.
Finally, on Friday, First Lady Mrs. ARYA Ali launched a menstrual hygiene initiative in Region 2. Mrs. Ali says the problem of menstrual hygiene will not be continuous in Guyana.
Today is the day we begin distributing sanitary pads to every school-aged girl in Region 2 at no cost to them. These supplies will last you for 1 year. I am making a request to you as your First Lady for you to continue to support each other in every way possible. As you continue to support each other, I will be here as your First Lady with my arms open wide, waiting to support you every step of your journey.
Mrs. Ali, while addressing female students at the Anna Regina Secondary School, also noted that the initiative is about empowering females. Meanwhile, Education Minister PRIYA said menstrual hygiene is an issue girls should not be facing alone.
It's not a girl issue. It's a people issue. It's a human issue. But it's an issue we're forced to face alone most of the times. And that has to change.
That's it for this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website, dpi.gov.gy, and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.